here. I'm one of the creators of Infinity. I'm mainly the background developer and the writer. And also I'm in charge of writing the rules, game mechanics, designing the troop profile, designing the army list, and that kind of stuff. I also help in concept design, providing ideas taken from the background, from the background of the different troops for the designer when they have to deal with a new troop. Okay, this troop comes from Varuna, for example, but tell us something more, because sometimes when the artists have to face the blank page, needs some references, right? But okay, these troops have this kind of background story behind, so you can use that ideas or use that kind of uniform, that kind of color pattern, for example, that kind of things. Also in Corvus Belli, everybody do more than one thing. I also in charge of deal with translations, contact with collaborators, with partners, that kind of stuff. Everybody in Corvus Belli do several things. Unfortunately, no, we cannot specialize in one area of work, because there's a lot of things to do in a miniature company. So well, that's my main curriculum vitae. But you have not come here to hear about my personal history. You want to know something about Infinity and third edition. Yeah. So I really hope you have not been at Gen Con or watched the YouTube videos about the Bostria's speech at Gen Con, because I'm going to speak more or less the same he was telling there. But as Bostria is mainly a concept designer, he's also a playtester, yeah. But he's not so he doesn't deep so much in the game mechanics, the mechanics development. So maybe I can provide a different point of view, different than he provided at Gen Con. Another thing, of course, the speech of Carlos at Gen Con was very long and very fast, and show a lot of things. To be able to deep more in third edition, I'm going to focus more. Probably you miss, if you have watched that speech, probably you miss something. But realize I have to share all that information amongst 3 seminars. So if at the end of the speech you think, oh, I missed something, you can ask and I can try to reply. So be generous with me. Okay, third edition. Why a third edition? Obviously, Infinity second edition is not exactly a second edition. It's just a 1.5 edition. When Infinity is a very old game, I mean we released first edition at the end of 2005, and at that moment we were rookies when dealing with rules and creation of game mechanics. Of course, we know a lot of games. We have played at the moment. We have played a lot of miniature games. We know about that stuff, but it's different when you are playing a game and you are creating your own home rules. That when you have to face a rule, you have to explain to everybody a rule who a lot of people are going to play. For example, in any miniature forum, there's a lot of people providing ideas for home rules. They are nice, of course, they are nice. Probably they are very useful for very specific situations. But when you have to face with a complete rule set, you have to balance. Okay, we can create a very specific rule to explain how a miniature acts when has to cross a corner in its night and he's facing three enemies. And we create a very complicated but realistic rule. Okay, probably that rule works at that moment, but imagine you have to create a complete rule set, plenty of that kind of rules. It's not affordable. At the beginning, we try to make a very simple core mechanics and not to make the game so very complicated. But at the same time, we want a very cinematic, a very realistic and entertaining game. So some rules are affected by that kind of rookie game creator ideas. So at this moment, after 10 years working with Infinity, working daily in the game mechanics and even investigating mode in which game creation is, we are more veterans, and we decided to make more streamlined rules. That's the main reason of third edition. Create more streamlined and more again more easy to access. I'm not meaning the third edition be easier game. It's not. We are not creating a game for pre-teens. It's not a game for 12 years old child. No, don't tell. So sorry. Don't get wrong with that. But we are going to try to make the game, trying to delete any complicated rule which is not very necessary. So when we face the idea of creating third edition, we took this decision. Okay, let's go to the basics. And what was the basic idea of Infinity? When we created Infinity, we imagine this tagline we are using sometimes in our promotional stuff. In Infinity is always your turn. That means in Infinity you are always playing in your turn and also in the adversaries, your enemy's turn. I remember when we was creating the game mechanics of Infinity, Carlos Torres, other of the partners of Corvus Belli, one of the game creators, said, okay, what do you want to see in our game? What are the kind of annoying things other games have you want Infinity has not? And I said, I hate to be seeing how the other guy is playing, because if I imagine I'm a soldier, I'm behind a corner or in a trench, and suddenly I saw the enemies moving, I cannot move because it's not my turn. It's like the rule of 5 seconds, of 3 seconds of when the foot falls to the floor. No, Germans cannot reach the foot until 3 seconds. No, you have to wait 3 seconds. No. I think that's something I don't like, Carlos. And Carlos said, what are you saying? That you can shoot the complete burst in your active turn? I say, hey, you're crazy. What? I'm not saying that. I say, well, maybe not the complete burst, but you can shoot one time. And I say, well, that would be a good idea. And the automatic reaction order comes from there. So when we decide to start with third edition, we go back to that idea. Okay, it's only your turn and you are always playing, and that's the basic idea of third edition. We are trying to erase any rule that prevent the adversary could play. I mean that kind of rules that. So let's suppose I'm in your zone of control. It's my active turn. You are active too, and I decide you are. I'm behind you, and I just say I move. And what will be your arrow? Okay, change facing. Okay, I know I can shoot you. Normal roll, no face-to-face roll. Wait for me, not so wait for him. That's frustrating because it's not realistic. I understand that it's a game trick The rules allows to do that, and it's great for the player, for the active player, but it's not realistic. People doesn't move and wait. No, we want more dynamic game. So that kind of ideas have been deleted from third edition. That was so. Let's think. I'm not going to explain third edition as a whole rule set here, but you can check in the second edition rules, and any rule you find that prevents the adversary will play probably will change totally. Okay, not exactly all the rules are going to change like that. For example, Cautious movement is going to be kept in the same way. It's going to change something, but we are going to keep the idea. You can move and the other guy cannot react. Why? Because it's not an aggressive action. I'm not necessarily frustrated. You are moving silently, and the other guy cannot react because he cannot hear you. Okay, but any other rule second edition could have preventing the adversary could react probably has been changed, and it's very interesting because at the beginning one of the great ideas of Infinity was to provide the all players be constantly playing, and suddenly when we realized that the game mechanics are providing that stuff that prevents other players who react, they say, oh, well, we didn't do it well. That's a fail from our part. So the edition was provide us the chance to solve that. Another trouble the second edition has. When we try to say Infinity to our customers, to our direct customers, not to the players, to the shops, to the distributors, they say, oh, but Infinity is a very complicated game, and it's not true. Infinity, the core mechanics of Infinity is very easy, and you can see. I don't know if you have checked the quick start rules or even the Operation Mindstorm rule set, but it's very easy to explain, and in 8 minutes you can explain the core mechanics of Infinity. What happens? Infinity has a lot of special skills, and it's a game that fortunately provides very flexibility to the player. The player can do a lot of things. And that's also a trouble, because when a player can do a lot of things, the player would like to do more and more things, and his imagination starts to run, and always trying to do more amazing things because the rules provide to do that. So suddenly, common skills and special skills and equipment and weapons are related and created very complicated game situations that needs that fact and that wiki, and the wiki, also the fact was created not by us, by Corvus Belli. It was created by the whole community of Infinity players, and it's nice because everybody is participating in the creation of that. But it's also a trouble because, as I say, as a gamer, you say, hey, this question must be in the fact or in the wiki because it's very important. No, don't forget, a fact is a frequently asked question. If only 2 people ask about that, it doesn't deserve to be in the wiki or in the fact. But we feel obligated by the community to add a lot of things, and now the wiki and the fact are bigger, and okay, but with third edition we are going to delay it and start again, and we are trying to keep the fact more in a more brief format and not adding any idea or any proposal that comes from the community, just to make that fact and that wiki more handy. Again, as I said, Infinity was in infinity seems difficult for the shops and the customers. So in third edition we are trying to make the game more easy to access to it. If you have checked our crystal rules or especially the tutorial missions of Operation Ice Storm, you see how is now our idea of focusing the routes simpler, easier, more specifically more structured. For example, weapon chart. Charts are very easy to understand, and especially very easy to check when you are playing. So we thought, okay, if a chart is something you can have in a sheet when you are playing, just printed, or even in your tablet or in your smartphone, why not we try to make some, not all, but some of the rules, specifically those which are separated by levels, in a chart format, and that was one of the ideas. Create more charts for every complicated special skills as martial arts, martial arts would be. In the same line we do with the weapons. Close combat chart. Here we can find different levels of martial arts and also comparative person, which is another different close combat special skill. In second edition, martial art has each level of martial art has different effects, but they are not. They are completely different. One provides courage, another one provides the defense bonus. First attack, that kind of ideas. Let's try to make it easier. So we decided to create a chart and divide all the levels, just becoming them in bonuses to the player. So level 1 doesn't provide any modifier to the active player, to the owner of the piece, but provides negative bonus to his adversary, and also a +1 to the damage of the weapon. Doesn't provide any bonus to the burst. Doesn't provide any kind of special damage, and has no any other special effect. What happens with martial arts level 2? Okay, it's mostly the same. You can check it easily. No effect, but provides a +3 modifier to the damage of the weapon. No burst modifiers, no special damage, no special. Martial arts level 3, a +3, a -3 to the adversary. Level 4 only provides a +1 to the burst of the weapon. And level 5, they are providing -6 to the adversary, and also an special effect. If in second edition you can use all your levels of martial arts, in third edition you can choose only one. I mean, you have martial arts level 4, you can use any one of these, but only one. You can choose to use level 4, or you can choose level 2, but you cannot combine level 2 with level 4. Probably some people will be disappointed with that, because it's it's almost natural to think level 4 is better than level 2. So it's compulsory that level 4 be better than level 2. It's a +1 modifier to the board better than having a +3 to damage. Well, it depends the trooper you are, the weapon you have, and that kind of idea. Probably most of the people prefer to have more burst, but maybe you are facing a very tough adversary and +3 modifier. So if you have more levels of martial arts, you have more possibilities to choose. But if each level inside a special skill cannot be combined, you can combine your martial arts with a different close combat special skill. So you will combine Berserk with martial arts if your super has that combination of close combat special skills. Of course, there are some special skills related that doesn't appear here. Martial arts still provides courage to the trooper, and also there are other special skills that provide special effects in close combat. If you have seen Operation Ice Storm booklet, you will realize that there are, when checking camouflage, there are no more first attack. First attack vanishes. Why? As I said before, first attack prevents the player, the adversary could play. So remove that and replace by a +3 to your roll. Something to think that is better first attack than a mere +3 to your attack. But please realize you are using camouflage, so you have a +3 to your roll. But as you have camouflage, your adversary has a -3 to his roll, and maybe you're a ninja. And if you are attacking in close combat, you cannot be doing the +3 to your roll, maybe a +3 of martial arts. And also, he has a -3 by camouflage, and also another -3 to the martial arts. So -6 for him, +6 for you, and a difference of 12 in the roll. Which is better? First attack or that? And at the same time, someone could think, hey, you are trying to avoid frustration in the player. So, well, he can roll, but with such difference, it's so huge. Probably it would be better to have first attack, because if I survive, I could reply. But maybe, or probably you will not survive to the first attack because the other player is not stupid and he's using first attack. He's doing he knows probably you will not survive. So at least we are providing you a choice to make a roll, and that's important. As I say, that's important. And also, don't forget, we have placed a limit to the accumulation of modifiers. You can never surpass -12 or +12. So more or less you always have a chance to make a roll with a 1, which is 5% possibilities of success. It's not too much, but just to provide us a chance to reply, and also using this, a martial artist has more possibilities. Being totally sincere, martial artists in close combat are awesome, and if you have not any close combat special skill, probably you are dead. But you always have a chance, and you know how rules become a grid plan in a Corvus plan easily. So that's the idea. Also, Berserk has a +3, of course, but also a drag and special so that's the idea, using charts to make things more easy to check and easy to understand. We cannot place any all the information inside a chart, but we are guessing you have read the rules, so in checking the chart you are easily remembering what the special skill is writing. Okay, so in the same idea to trying to balance most of the things in Infinity, we change the idea, the point of view with the weapons. In second edition, we have some troubles with the weapons. At some moment, the heavy machine gun was the king of the hill of the weapons. You only need a heavy machine gun because in most of the situation is the winner. If not, you always have the Spitfire, which is the younger brother of the heavy machine gun, and even better in close combat quarter. But okay, that's good for a player who is carrying a heavy machine gun, but not for the game, because there are different troops, there are different operational profiles for each troop. So if every operational profile needs a weapon which has been fitted to that idea of acting in the battlefield. So we try to create specific areas of acting for each weapon, and you can see with colors is easy to understand. Boarding shotgun. I remember in the official international forum several years ago, some user called the boarding shotgun boring shotgun. I don't know the reason why, but I think we can make change that idea. Now the boarding shotgun is really a really effective weapon for very specific units. I mean, impersonators, infiltrators, and troops with combat jump, because a +6 is incredibly awesome. And you can choose between armor-piercing ammunition or even using the template. So really it's scary. It's scary in some situations.
Is the light shotgun going to get the same range bands?
Yeah. The light shotgun has the same, and also the heavy shotgun. The only difference is the ammunition, of course. The rifle. The rifle is the most common weapon in the game, and it's the basic weapon of any trooper in Infinity, but also in the real world. So the rifle must be not the weapon you choose when you are composing your fighter because it's the most cheaper option. No, a rifle must be a weapon really useful. By that reason, we increase the -3 range of the rifle to make them more useful in the battlefield. Of course, for the rifle, have the +3 range. What happened with the Spitfire? Spitfire is very good at close range, but it's not necessarily to be so good. Why? Because if your adversary is very close, in a range of 8 inches, well, if you cannot use your Spitfire and you want a +3 to your ballistic skill, then take the pistol. Because in Infinity, in second edition, never use the pistol. Only a Shaolin monk with a chain rifle. Okay, I took the pistol. That's ridiculous. I understand that the pistol is not a definitive gun in a battlefield, but it's also a gun. And it's very interesting seeing a playtesting of third edition when an Aquila guard in the tower with heavy machine gun, and suddenly appears a warband and an Aquila guard taking the pistol and shooting with the pistol. That's something you never see in second edition. So that moment we realized that this is a very good idea. And the same happened with the heavy machine gun. With a -3 at short range, there are a lot of weapons that beat a heavy machine gun easily. So that's the idea. Any weapon has this specific niche area to be used in the battlefield. Sniper rifle. The sniper rifle finally is better than the heavy machine gun in long range. You can see this range is way better. So I have an intruder. Heavy machine gun, sniper rifle. Well, it depends. Where are you going to deploy it? I understand that here in the States with your game table, so plenty of terrain, long range weapons are not so easy to see and so easy to use but in Europe terrain is more clear, so they take more profit of these weapons. Well, breaker pistol. Fortunately for me, Bostia commit some mistakes when he makes this chart, so I have new things for you to tell doing these mistakes. Breaker pistol. Breaker pistol, as you can see, is a normal pistol. The main difference with a regular pistol is the damage and the ammunition. Damage of 12 and not viral ammunition. I'm sorry very much. I'm sorry, team players. It's breaker ammunition. Breaker ammunition is a new ammunition creation created for third edition. The name comes from a term called breakthrough time. It's a criterion used related to hazardous materials. That makes is the time hazardous materials last to penetrate in the body. So the bigger the breakthrough time has how much. Sorry, I'm going to drink, and in the meanwhile, think what I'm going to say. Okay. Breaker ammunition is related to biotechnological shape. In the real world, all nuclear, bacteriological, chemical, and radiological defense has that criterion of breakthrough time. Breaker ammunition is created to have to break that biotechnological shield. Well, that means it affects BTS and also acts like armor piercing, but for BTS, not for armor. That's the idea. We are not inventing the wheel. This is not necessarily new, but we are using the same idea of armor piercing. We have created a new ammunition, and it's easy to remember. Breaker ammunition, like armor, for BTS. Easy. And also it has a bigger value because if you are facing a troop who has BTS and different from people who has armor increases in single 1, 2, 3, but BTS increase in +3, 3, 6, 9. So you need a bigger value of times to deal with that. There are several munitions created for third edition, but the idea is like that, to use previous ideas to create new munitions easier to remember. Again, making the game easier. Okay, the adhesive launcher is mostly the same. Autocannon has been reduced the range. Multi-rifle, again, is like zombie. The hyperopic magnetic cannon is similar to the heavy machine gun. Sorry. But damage. But there must be an asterisk here there because it has suffered some changes. The Yogni suffers a very huge change and improvement. It's mostly like the younger brother of the sniper rifle. It's very useful now. The missile launcher again was with some mistakes in the previous chart. Has a blast rate between 24 and 40 inches. Not only in this area. In the previous chart has only the blast rate here. Missile launcher has been conceived to use a long range. You cannot use a missile launcher inside a room. Right. Forward observer has been reduced his modifier because we realize that most of the forward observers have a willpower of 13, which is probably better than the ballistic skill value. So we have to take care with that. Why? Because in third edition, forward observer is very useful. Not only do the flash pulse, because now forward observer has a burst of 2, which is very interesting because now a successful forward observer impose game state in the objective called targeted. What means targeted? Objective who has been targeted can be spotted by guided special ammunition, but also has a +3 to any adversary who is going to shoot to it. So we suddenly in the playtesting of third edition, everybody was using the forward observers to target the most tough adversaries, as an avatar, as a cutter, as a Jotun. So to have that flash free for forward attacks. And we like that because it provides a new operational area for the forward observers, and you're using one troop to provide more benefits to the others. There's synergy between the troopers, and that's interesting because at that moment you're seeing your army list acting like a real combat group, collaborating and trying to. You're using two different troops to take down a more tough objective, and we like that. It makes the game more tactical. And that's something we like it very much. I have to talk about game states. That's another new idea of third edition. We have to make the game easier. We have created different game states. Most of that game states are not new. I mean, prone is a game state. Suppression fire is a game state. Unconscious is a game state. Immobilized is a game state. Possessed is a game state. That special situations created by a special ammunition, a special rule, probably are derived in a game state. What are the new ideas or the new appropriation of the game state? Each game state is structured with requirements to To activate a game state, it requires to, for example, a game state like camouflage is required to have a special skill camouflage. And also they have activation, the trigger. How can I activate this game state? This game state to be activated needs to be shown to lose, for example, in Corvus. It's necessary to lose all your bounce points. Then effects. Which are the effects of this game state? If you are unconscious, you don't provide orders to the other pool. That can be. And also cancellation. How can I cancel this game state? For example, to recover from unconscious state, you need to be healed by successing a willpower roll. So all that game state tries to do it and in a way that is more easier to check and not go into the book and okay, unconsciously I'm a brief powerful for flat explaining. No. Just check. How can I activate? Activation. How I cancel? Cancellation. Easier. And it's very interesting because at some point I suffer some kind of fever and everything can be coming again state and then, hey, stop! It's not necessarily you create so much game mistakes. Why? Because every game state needs a token or a marker to remember the game state is activated. And as I was saying before, Carlos Torres, one of the game creators of Infinity, doesn't like tokens. And I was saying, no create more tokens, no create more tokens. But at the end, the players likes to play with these tokens. So we have increased the game state and also the number of tokens in Infinity. I suppose our partners will be very happy with that idea. Well, probably there are more things about third edition, but I don't want to make this so long. Another thing, a very important one. Okay, those are the books we have released. Second edition, Human Sphere, Campaign Paradiso, and also the art book. It's not a book for playing, but what will happen? We are going to replace second edition by third edition. This doesn't mean you have to drop your other books to the trash can. No, it's not necessary. We are going to release a sheet with a guide of changes to make it more easier to translate third edition to the rules or special skills of Human Sphere and Campaign Paradiso. In the same way, like a FAQ, we are created. Okay, with this new rule, what will happen with fightings and this rule? Okay, Vital Sniper. Now the range of a sniper are different. So what happens with Vital Sniper? Okay, you can check in that FAQ the range of the vital sniper. The same sniper rifle. Don't worry about that. But we are very worried about the change from third edition with other books to be not complicated for for the next year, you will have third edition, and you will be playing with the tools of third edition, and probably you will start to worry about what happens with the tools of Human Sphere, what happens with the tools of Campaign Paradiso. Don't worry too much about that. We are going to try to make change to third edition easier for so I cannot say right now what we are going to do, but don't worry too much. I'm going to go to the ITS tournaments and I can use my domains with the rules of third edition. You can use your domains with the rules of third edition, so it's not you don't have to worry about that. Third edition is not only related to the rules. The change in third edition affects also to the background and to the tool profiles. For example, people suddenly really feel scared when some of their favorite tools doesn't appear in third edition. Not all the tools profiles you can find in second edition will appear in third edition because some of them have been moved for the future. For example, Batman unit. Batman unit belongs to Acontecimiento Sectorial Army. Acontecimiento Sectorial Army is more developed in human sphere. So when we have moved that unit to the future, and when we delve in Acontecimiento Sectorial Army and adapt to third edition, we will come back to Batman and not adapt, but you adapt and optimize to third edition. So in exchange, you will Oceanian players will find new units in third edition. We are trying to have a more balanced army list with having the same, more or less the same number of units for all the different armies, because we realize that third edition will be the point of access for new players. So to avoid they have to deal suddenly with a lot of units, we said, okay, let's make this army list briefer and more handy for the players. But don't worry, in the army and in the down section you will find Magmali and any other units. It's just we don't want to have very long and complicated army thinking in new players, but also new players and beginner players can find all the units freely in the army list and in the down section. That means we are going to release new tools in third edition. What happens with the background? The background texts are more or less the same. Some background text doesn't change so much. For example, Panusiania, you change, or even Ariadna. But fortunately for you guys, with a better translation. So maybe you can find new things. Oh, this is totally new. No, it's not totally new. It's well translated. Oh. But other backgrounds, like for example, Nomads changed more because Nomads was the first background written by me for Infinity. And I can say it was written mostly on a run in November 2002. Yeah, mostly in a single night. And when I come back to the text and read again and try to let's make a simple edit, I realize this I can realize I'm written in a single night. You provide me a lot of words to write it again, and now it's more structured, and I can explain more things in shorter space of pages. I think it's better and more interesting right now. But for example, another faction who changed more is Combined Army. Why? In Combined Army we introduce new units and also new races. It's curious because with third edition, we are making some kind of retro, but advancing also the background story of Infinity, and it's mostly doing by this. In the book, we introduce a new race, a new alien race for the combined army, the Sigma. Posterior Carlos introduced the Sigma in Gen Con with a very simple word. The Sigma are the evil Toha. Well, I really understand it. It's very easy, and you catch the idea perfectly. But don't forget, this is Infinity, and in Infinity, evil doesn't exist, because evil is just what the other people says about you. Are the Sigma evil? Well, if you ask to the Sigma if they are evil, they will say, "Who said we are evil?" Okay. Sigma is an old Toha word composed by a prefix and also by a noun. The prefix sig means negation, opposition, and ma means honor, nobility, integrity. So negation, honor, and nobility in Sigma is traitor, basically. And who call traitors to the Sigma? The Toha. The Toha will say that the Sigma are traitors. Why? The Sigma are the Toha that belongs to the areas of the Toha civilization has been invaded and conquered by the evolved intelligence. And the issue will be, okay, they have been invaded by the evolving intelligence, so all the Sigma has been soterized. That will be easy. In a future that only has war, it will be the easy reply to that. But this is Infinity. And things are not easy, and things are not black or white. Things are gray, and with different shades of gray. The Sigma are soterized Toha? No. The Sigma are anger Toha. Why? When the Toha confronts to the combined army, to the evolving intelligence, the Toha government says, this is a fight we cannot lose, because we lose in front of the evolving intelligence, we will be all soterized. Our civilization will disappear in the wave of the imposing culture of the evolving intelligence, who has their own ideas and doesn't care about anybody. And they fight until the death against the evolving intelligence. But the combined army is a so powerful army that cannot be stopped. And also part of the Toha civilization were finally conquered. And what happens? For the average citizen, for the average Toha citizen, suddenly when they wake up inside the civilization of the evolving intelligence, they realize that they have not been soterized. Things are like always. Okay, the most important decisions, political decisions, are controlled by the evolving intelligence, but the average citizen doesn't care about that. Everything works, and probably most of the things works better than when they were independent. So suddenly they realize that they have been cheated by the Toha government. They have suffered a lot. They have lost their children. They have lost their brothers, mothers, sisters, their friends, fighting against the evolved intelligence, because the government said there was no way to deal with the world intelligence, and now they are living inside the civilization of the world intelligence, and they are living well. And that suffering was just unnecessary. And now they are not socialized; they are anger. They suffer from a deep anger. They hate the Doha government because they have cheated and they have invest all their efforts and their families in a nonsense fighting. So by that reason, the Sigma are the traitors. And they, okay, you call us traitors? Yeah, we are traitors. We are traitors to you because you have lied to us. And we don't care about traiting you because you are the biggest traitor in this situation. And that's the reason the Sigma are the evil Doha. They are following the world intelligence, but they are not self-authorized by it. And at the end of the year, we are going to release a new starter pack for the combined army, because the old starter pack is very old, very old. And at the first moment, we realized that the combined army was the worst seller of all the Infinity factions. We are not very sure about the reason why, because it's a powerful army. Maybe a little bit difficult to play with it because they have very expensive units and it's very easy to be banished for the other adversary because you have not too much troopers. But it's powerful and a very playable army. And what is the reason the combined army didn't sell so well as other factions doing the starter pack? Claro, when we create the combined army, combined several alien races working for the world intelligence. So the starter pack has several alien races, very different in their uniform pattern, their weapons, their silhouettes. The look is very different. So people doesn't consider it like a unified army. When we release the sectorial starter packs, they sell better than the original starter pack. So we realized we need to make a new starter pack. And in third edition, we find the opportunity to do that. That's the reason we introduced the Sigma. And well, I don't know if you have read the background of Paradiso in the first book, in the first book, yeah, in the first edition. But there's a moment in the background talking about the cosmolites that someone said. It said in the Doha prisoners has been asked about the cosmolites and didn't know about that. In the background they are referring to the Sigma, to the Toha who were working to the world intelligence. That idea of the evil Toha was something I have hidden in my pockets since the beginning of Infinity. But at that moment we cannot find a hole for them in the book, so we decided to wait until that. With that idea of creating a new starter pack, we decided to make it more in the line for the world intelligence, the civilization. So this will be the base trooper, the Corvus trooper for the world intelligence, the Union Batroid. It's like the Icadron Batroids you've seen in campaign Paradiso. That kind of biotechnological unit. And here you can see the 3D modeling. 3 different troopers. It's funny because when Carlos Torres showed me design of these guys, I said, okay, Carlos, I like them, but I think maybe you are wasting a good idea in line 2, because they are so